Hi Virgo, welcome to your love reading for February 2019. This is Elizabeth from channeledguidance.com. Okay, so I already shuffled the decks and you did have two jumping cards. I just wanted to tell you really quick that I did do another video for you. It was a video where I didn't make it public because I kind of lost my kind of train of thought. Probably kind of towards the end of the video when I was finishing up the confirmation deck. I didn't want to delete it because I thought it was such a waste. It was 15 minutes long. I thought maybe somebody out there, maybe somebody needs to hear that message. Maybe it's not the message for everybody. But again, it's 15 minutes long. There's no X spread in it, but it seems like such a waste to just delete it. So I'll put a link to it down below. It's going to be unlisted, so you're not going to see it if you're looking for it in your feed. Just click where it says see more and you'll see it. Just to kind of let you know, the 10 of Wands had jumped for you. It was on the desk. Like these two are. You also have the Queen of Swords, the 5 of Swords, and the 5 of Cups as the first three cards. And you also have the 7 of Swords in there. Again, there's a link down below if you want to watch it. Okay, so here, two jumping cards. Let's see what they are. You have the Queen of Swords, which, like I said in that video where I kind of lost it towards the end, this was the first card. But this time you have it with the 2 of Swords. So, I mean, I feel like if you have a partner who is an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, it can be that maybe you're making a really difficult decision. In the month of February, the 2 of Swords usually does mean there's some type of complicated decision or action that you need to take or your partner needs to take. And it does represent that you're stuck unless you act or you make a decision. This can also be you if you have a moon or rising in air sign. But sometimes the Queen and the King of Swords come up when someone's really overthinking something, and it could be that you're overthinking maybe a decision that you need to make. So let's put these back in there, and let's see what comes up for you this time. Okay, this is the love reading for the sign of Virgo for February 2019. The first card is the Page of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Virgo for February. Page of Cups. Love reading for the sign of Virgo for February. Ace of Cups. Love reading for the sign of Virgo for February. The Fool. Love reading for the sign of Virgo for February. King of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Virgo for February. 3 of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Virgo for February. 10 of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Virgo for February. The Hangman. Love reading for the sign of Virgo for February. And you have the 4 of Swords. What's the most important thing that Virgo needs to hear about their love life for February 2019? And the card that you have is the 5 of Cups. So the 5 of Cups can represent tears, sadness, perhaps feeling disappointed in someone, feeling disappointed in a relationship. It does represent kind of dwelling on your pain or something really difficult in your love life. So we'll come back to this to see how it ties in with the rest of the reading. And if you would like to get a private reading with me, Virgo, just go to my website, channeledguidance.com. I'll put a link to it down below. Also a link to my Facebook. Okay, so let's see what you have going on here. On the first row, you have the Page of Swords, Page of Cups, Ace of Cups. So I'm noticing that you have two pages right next to each other. The pages do represent communication. So for some of you, if you've been hoping to hear from someone, perhaps, you know, an ex, or perhaps you and your partner are not really communicating, the month of February does have, you know, kind of strong communication energy. And I feel like communicating, you know, it leads to a new beginning. You have the Ace of Cups there. All the aces represent a new beginning. So this would be a new beginning in your love life, or it could be that if you're already coupled, if you're already married or in a long-term relationship, communication will really help you kind of start over. You do have the Page of Swords as the first card, so I feel like you really need to communicate, but you need to communicate very honestly. Like, you need to really speak your truth, because the main energy, remember, it was the 5 of Cups. So for some of you, you're unhappy with something. Something is just kind of really upsetting you. Maybe you're disappointed in a relationship that you're in. Maybe you're disappointed in a partner who's not really living up to your expectations. The Page of Swords is encouraging you to be completely honest, and the Page of Cups is encouraging you to really speak from the heart. And this is the only way that you're going to have a new beginning in a relationship or in a marriage. Even for those who are single, like, you really have to be yourself. You have to really, you know, speak your truth and really speak from the heart in order to really find that new relationship that's really going to suit you. In the second row here, you have your energy because you are the King of Pentacles. It can also represent your partner if they're also an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Now, around your energy here, I mean, there's a possible new beginning for you. The Fool does represent, you know, this is a major arcana, so it represents a huge new beginning. And technically, I did pull the Fool right after the Ace of Cups, and both of them represent new beginnings. So you do have a strong energy of new beginnings in the month of February, but there's also a message of trusting. And that, here I go again with that reading that isn't exactly going to be posted publicly, but there's a link down below. I went on and on about that. There's a new beginning where you just have to trust that this is right for you. It could be forgiving somebody. It could be a new person who comes into your life. I mean, it's a general reading, so it's hard to say. Considering that the main energy is the Five of Cups, where maybe someone has let you down. Maybe you're giving a relationship or a marriage a second chance. With the Fool, there are no guarantees. You just have to trust your heart and your intuition that this is right for you. You also have the Three of Pentacles on the other side. So the Three of Pentacles is saying that you both have to try. You and the person that you're with, you and your partner, you both have to put in the same amount of effort. It can't all just be you. And considering that the Five of Cups is the main energy, you may be upset that you're the only one trying in the relationship. You may be disappointed that, again, they're just not doing their, you know, they're not doing their part in the relationship. They're not trying. You're the only one compromising. There's a possible new beginning for you, for those where you're really struggling, but you both have to be on board with the Three of Pentacles. This is teamwork. You have to work together. And again, strong communication will lead to a new beginning. Now down here, let's see what this is. Ten of Swords, the Hangman, and the Four of Swords. So, I mean, the Ten of Swords does mean sometimes that there's been a betrayal of some kind, or you've been deeply hurt, stabbed in the back, but it is a message that it's time to move on. It's time to move on from something painful. Perhaps because you had the Five of Cups as a main energy, there's been something really painful that happened in your relationship where, you know, you've just been stuck. You've been in limbo because you've not been able to forgive. That could very well be the message for you this month, because maybe you're taking a risk and letting somebody back into your life, or in keeping them in your life. There's an energy of you being in limbo and being stuck. For some of you, you've been unable to move on because of a betrayal, because you've been deeply hurt. I mean, the Ten of Swords usually comes up when, again, you've been lied to or betrayed. And it's just a loud message that it's time. I mean, whatever your situation is, Virgo, it's time to move on, because, I mean, the cards are telling me that you're in limbo and that you're stuck. You also have the Four of Swords here. So for some of you, I mean, this usually can represent healing. For some of you, it could be that, I mean, I'm seeing the Ten of Swords and the Hangman here. It could be that, you know, some of you really do need to heal. Take the time to heal, and maybe healing your relationship or healing your marriage or healing yourself. It's the only way you're going to be able to move on. I don't know. It just seems like the sign of Virgo, like you're just kind of like you're stuck. But there are opportunities, so you need to take the time to heal, because, I mean, you have the Ace of Cups and the Fool. Possible new beginnings for you, or a new relationship. Communication is important. And for those who are already coupled, teamwork. You need to work together. Okay, let me get a few more cards for you. What other messages are there for the sign of Virgo for February? You've got the Hierophant. What other messages are there for the sign of Virgo? You've got the Two of Cups. What other messages are there for the sign of Virgo for February? And you have Strength. Okay, so these three cards. And you have, you know, the Hierophant, which is a card of kindred spirits, soulmates, and really knowing where you belong, which is kind of ironic because right beneath it, you have the Soulmate card. So, I mean, I feel like for many of you, like you're already with your soulmate. It's either your partner, your long-term relationship, your spouse, husband, your wife. You know where you belong. Maybe you're going through something really difficult, which is why the Five of Cups is your main energy. You're disappointed. There's tears or sadness. You do have Strength telling you to be patient. Strength also means you have to be brave. Don't let your ego take over. Don't let anger, frustration, despair, don't let that kind of determine what happens in your love life or in your marriage. Strong soulmate energy there with the Hierophant and the Two of Cups. Like you've already found your soulmate. You're already with your soulmate. You just need to communicate. I mean, you really need to speak your truth, and someone really needs to speak from the heart. That will lead to a new beginning. Okay, so let me move on to the confirmation deck. Let's move this way. What other messages are there for the sign of Virgo for February? You have the Emperor. What other messages are there for the sign of Virgo for February? You have the Four of Swords, so that's a repeat card. What other messages are there for the sign of Virgo for February? And the Four of Wands. So that's kind of interesting. The Emperor is a 4, the Four of Swords, and the Four of Wands. And you also, the Four of Swords is a repeat card. Any other 4s here? No, but that's a lot of 4s. And the 4s do represent stability and a firm foundation. So for some of you where the relationship, it's just like there's a lot of kind of off and on, kind of a come and go relationship. You break up, you get back together. It could be that in February you can really build a strong foundation for a relationship. Even for those of you who are single, it could be that someone could be coming in where this can be a long-term relationship for you. Strong sense of stability. Okay, what's the most important thing that Virgo needs to hear about their love life for February 2019? Death. So, I mean, death is telling you that there can be something huge, something very significant that happens in your love life in February. Death usually does represent some type of ending, but also a new beginning. In your case, I feel like the ending would be the end of difficult times, because the main energy from the other deck was the Five of Cups. Tears, sadness, disappointment, perhaps the death of being stuck, of being in limbo in your love life, of, you know, being unable to move on. Because I feel like for some of you, you've been deeply hurt, and it really is time to heal. It really is time to heal. That's the only way you're going to be able to move on. And again, like I said, let me just move you this way. For some of you, you've already found that soulmate. There's a strong energy of like a soul connection with someone, but you just have to be brave and patient around this, because I feel like your ego might really be taking over. Okay, so let's look at these 3 cards. I mean, you have the Emperor. The Emperor is a major arcana telling you that in the month of February, you're really going to have to take control. The Emperor does represent stability and taking charge of your love life, self-confidence. This is what you could have. You have the Four of Wands, this is stability. This is a long-term relationship, if not a marriage. So again, if this is what you want in the month of February, you're really going to have to take charge and, you know, keep your eyes focused on this. The Four of Swords is a repeat card because it was here in the other deck. So the Four of Swords does mean perhaps healing needs to happen. I mean, considering the other cards and everything that we see here, perhaps in order to have that stability, because I mean, so many 4s, you need to heal. There's something that needs to be healed within you, or perhaps in a marriage, in a relationship. The 4s can also represent, well, the Four of Swords can represent sometimes a timeout. For some of you, it could have been that someone has asked you for some space. But I still see, you know, a relationship right here. I see stability. It could be that, you know, you need to take control with the Emperor in a relationship when somebody just kind of comes and goes. Again, all these 4s do represent stability, and you can really have that this month if you're really communicating the 2 pages and you're really taking control. Okay, so let's move on to the X spread. I've already shuffled it because of the other reading that didn't quite work out. There were a few jumping cards, so let me show you what they are. You had Six of Swords, which does represent moving forward, leaving your problems behind you. You got the Ace of Pentacles, a new beginning, a blessed new beginning, 10 of Wands, heavy energy, heavy burden, and Judgment. A new beginning, a second chance. So again, these are all just jumping cards. I'm going to put them back in there. Again, this is the X spread for the sign of Virgo. This can be a long-term relationship you were in, or just someone you were dating. someone you were involved with, and you just want to know, is there a chance you can get back together? Okay. Show me the energies around Virgo and their ex. You have the Emperor. Interesting. Virgo and their ex. You have Death. Virgo and their ex. The Hangman. Virgo and their ex. Four of Swords. So far, aren't these all like repeat cards? Virgo and their ex. Two of Wands. Not this one. Virgo and their ex. Ten of Cups. Okay, so pretty interesting. I don't think I've ever seen so many repeat cards in a My Ex spread, but I mean, this is what you have. You definitely have the Hangman because I'm looking at him right here. So that's a huge confirmation for you. You definitely have the Death card. Here it is right here. I'll put it here because I know you didn't have the Ten of Cups, but I know you did have the Emperor. Let's put him there with the other Emperor. And the Four of Swords was actually a repeat card, and you have it again. So Virgo, you have a very strange reading. Very strange. Both of them that I've done for you. So, I mean, I don't even think I can get everything in the frame here. This is what you have. You have the Emperor 2 times, the Four of Swords 3 times, and you have, let's see, I'm getting confused here. You have Death 2 times and the Hangman 2 times. Okay, so I'm just going to move these out of the way because it's just going to confuse me. I don't want to have to make another video, so let's just focus on what we have here. We know what has repeated itself. Okay, so the Emperor, Death, and the Hangman. So, I mean, again, this is a My Ex spread. This is for someone where you're no longer together. Things ended for whatever reason. Maybe you ended, maybe they ended it. It doesn't matter. It wasn't really a long-term relationship. I mean, I feel like, the Hangman 2 times, it just seems like things are more of, kind of on hold than really over. And the reason I say that is because you had this card 3 times. This was a repeat card from the first spread, and then it's here again. And the Four of Swords, like I said, this card usually, it doesn't mean things are over. It means that this is a timeout. And it's next to the Two of Wands, which represents a waiting. You're waiting. There's a delay in this. A happily ever after, a relationship, love. This can even be marriage. So I feel like for many of you, it's a general reading, but the energies I get from these cards is that the relationship with your ex is more kind of like on hiatus than completely over. I feel like you're waiting, with that Two of Wands, you're waiting. And the Hangman 2 times, you're in limbo and there's stuck energy around you and your ex. There's going to be some big change because, the Death card 2 times, that's pretty eye-opening. So there'll be a big change in your relationship with your ex. You also have the Emperor 2 times. Let me just look at my cards here. I always say the first card's always really significant. And for you, it's a repeat card. So, for those of you where you really want to reconnect with this person, if you haven't had any type of contact, it actually could be up to you. Because the Emperor does represent taking control, taking charge of a situation. And you've got all major arcanas up there. You've got the Emperor, you've got Death, you've got the Hangman. All the major arcanas are on the top. And again, with the Emperor, this means that it's like you've got to take control of the situation. So for some of you, again, it's hard to say in a general reading, but I feel like for many of you, it could be that maybe you have decisions to make. And you did have the Two of Swords jump for you at the beginning of the reading. The Two of Swords and the Queen of Swords. So it could be that maybe you have a difficult decision. And maybe reaching out to your ex. And maybe it's really difficult. Maybe you really don't want to. You don't want to be the one to reach out first. But it seems more like your relationship is kind of on hold. It's more of on hold than over. And again, this card 3 times. I do see happiness for you with the Ten of Cups. This is a happy ending to your situation. A happy ending as far as your relationship. There's going to be a huge change. But again, with the Emperor, it could be that you've got to take control of the situation. Let me get one more card for you. Final message for the sign of Virgo. What final message is there about their ex, sign of Virgo, February 2019? The Hermit. So the Hermit does mean there's a lot of thinking to do. I mean, that's very similar to the Four of Swords, which again, 3 times the Hermit. Somebody has a lot of soul searching to do. So maybe, you know, kind of getting back together is not as easy as it sounds. It's really complicated. Again, you did have the Two of Swords jump for you at the beginning of the spread. Someone has maybe a lot of thinking, a lot of exploring to do about how you're going to get back together, maybe depending on what happened. Again, it just seems like your relationship is not over. It's just kind of on hold. There's a lot of thinking to do with the Hermit, a lot of soul searching to really see the truth. Maybe someone really needs to figure out how they feel about you. But again, with the Emperor 2 times, for some of you, it could be that you need to reach out. You need to do something. Okay, Virgo, this has been your love reading for February 2019. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you again next month.